Hello, everybody. My name is Chris, and welcome to the Beginner's Guide. I don't know what this is. I have no idea. I have no clue what this is. All I know is that my friend Ree gifted me this and the Stanley Parable, the original Stanley Parable, not the deluxe edition, on Steam, and we played Stanley Parable, and it was beautiful and amazing, and is such a core memory as far as games. And this, the only thing I know, this is pretty much whatever favorite games. And I think that's really curious because I've never even heard of this. I've never even heard of the Beginner's Guide. And so we're going to check it out. And we're going to see. I was able to get it to work because it was crashing for a while. I was stressing out because I'm like, what's wrong with it? But I got it to work. We're good. So, without further ado, let us begin the game. Please make sure audio is on. Check. Controls. WASD and left click.
Hi there. Thank you very much for playing The Beginner's Guide. My name is Davey Reedon. I wrote The Stanley Parable, and while that game tells a pretty absurd story, today I'm going to tell you about a series of events that happened between 2008 and 2011. We're going to look at the games made by a friend of mine named Coda. Now, these games mean a lot to me. I met Coda in early 2009 at a time when I was really struggling with some personal stuff, and his work pointed me in a very powerful direction. I found it to be a good reference point for the kinds of creative works that I wanted to make. So just to start you off, this is, I think, the first game he ever made. It's a level for Counter-Strike. You can walk around here, by the way. And mostly it's just Coda learning the basics of building a 3D environment. But what I like is that even though he starts from the simple aesthetic of a desert town, he then scatters these colorful abstract blobs and impossible floating crates around the level. And of course, it destroys the illusion that this actually is a desert town, and instead this level becomes a kind of calling card from its creator. It's like a reminder that this video game was constructed by a real person. And it kind of makes you wonder, what was going through his head as he was building this? This is what I like about all of Coda's games. I mean, not that they're all fascinating as games, but that they are all going to give us access to their creator. I want us to see past the games themselves. I want to get to know who this human being really is. And that's exactly what we're going to do here. So, it's 2008, Coda starts making these games, and he never releases any of them. He doesn't put them onto the internet, he just makes them and then immediately abandons them, and they sit on his computer forever. And I think he really understood this image of himself as a recluse. At one point, he jokingly renamed his computer's recycling bin to Important Games Folder. So, this was just how he worked. He tended to crank them out one after the other without even really pausing to try to understand what he had just made, until suddenly one day, he just stopped. In 2011, that was it. He made his last game, and then he hasn't made another one since. And that's why I've taken this opportunity to gather all of his work together, is because I find his games powerful and interesting, and I'd like this collection to reach him, to maybe encourage him to start creating again. And if the people like you who play this also happen to find his work interesting, then I'm sure it'll just send that much stronger of a message of encouragement to Coda. So thanks for joining me on this. If you have a particular interpretation that I haven't mentioned here, or if you just need to get in touch, you can email me at daveywreden@gmail.com. Okay, that's about it for introduction. Let's take a look at Coda's first proper game. As each game is loading, I'll show you the date that it was completed. This first one was made in November 2008.
This is so cool. This is wild. Whoa. This is neat. What a cool idea.
Warning. Whisper machine active. Shift destruction imminent.
Oh god.
This game is called Escape from Whisper, and it's one of the more generic games you'll see from Coda.
Oh, this is neat, though. Whoa. Whisper machine status active. Oh, music too.
Security
This is
call breached. Hostile alien life form inbound.
Are they?
It kinda looks like this game was abandoned mid-development. For instance, you have this gun, which you'd think would indicate that there are supposed to be monsters or enemies somewhere, but then clearly there are no enemies anywhere. You can't even reload the gun when you run out of bullets.
Oh yeah.
But ultimately we don't really know. Maybe Coda thought that actually it was complete the way that it is. And I think that we should talk about his games for what they are, rather than for what they're not.
Enemy force neutralized. Begin ship evacuation.
Oh. Whoa.
I love how
whoa.
you can see the bottom of the universe from this room.
I was gonna say, that's, I don't know, there's a charm to this. This is cool.
Apparently this space station has a labyrinth on it. Sure, I don't know. There's really no reason for it that I've ever been able to discern, so in the interest of time, I'm just gonna skip you on past it.
Oh, there we go. Okay. I was wandering.
Okay, this is the part that's interesting. The game has this narrative about the whisper machine and how it has to be turned off, and then you get to the engine room.
Okay. Ooh.
Hey, you there, in the engine room. You could save us all. That beam is powering the whisper machine. We could disrupt it by introducing a great enough heat signature. If your body could stop the beam. It's so much to ask, but for all of our lives, would you do it? Could you give yourself?
They're already heavy. For those who come after.
Let me pause here for a second. What you just experienced, stepping into the beam and then dying, is probably what Coda had initially intended when he was developing this level. But when he first compiles and plays it, something goes wrong. There's a bug somewhere. And this is what happens instead.
Oh. Huh. Why? Oh. I'm ascending.
The beam
Oh, that's
causes you to start floating. And this is an important moment for him. Because yes, this is technically a glitch, but Coda identifies something human about it, like how small it makes you feel in the face of this larger chaotic system. Or this floating could be the afterlife, a peaceful place, juxtaposed against all of the hysteria that you've just had to traverse. I don't even know. I have no idea what he was thinking, but what's clear is that after making this, something lodges itself in his brain. He wants to do more of these really weird and experimental designs. So he stops work on this and moves on to a stream of tiny little games that go in all sorts of directions. Let's go ahead and take a look at the first game he made after leaving this one behind.
I love this. This is so fucking cool.
Yep, in this game you can only walk backwards.
Stop. Really? Oh, that's, you know what? That's actually, this is what we're missing as a society, right? Just like coming up with weird, creative, neat things.
So it's a short and relatively minimalist experiment combining motion and narrative. It is less advanced than the previous game, but actually it seems to be more focused, more complete. Coda's trying to give it a unique voice rather than simply basing it on a pre-existing trope.
I like it, right? The past was behind her, but the future could not be seen. Why does the future keep changing? Deep. When she stops and looks, it becomes clearer. Ooh. But if the future is always behind her, how will she find the strength to confront it?
It's a short little thought, it says what it wants to say, and then it ends. Didn't need anything more than that. Which to me is why it works, because
Yeah.
it gets out quick. Okay, next one.
Its message, short, conveys its art, right? Ooh. You are now in jail. I like how it's a little floaty, too. You know, like, it's not perfect. You could feel that these are, like, you know, works in progress. You are now entering.
And that's it. Okay, the meaning of this game won't be clear just yet. Please be patient with me for a few more games, and I promise you'll see what makes it interesting.
Okay. I entered.
Oftentimes, Coda would put bizarre titles like this one at the start of his games. I wish
Whoa.
I'd known him at the time that he was making these early games. He would really only talk to me about his work as he was making it. Once he stopped work on a game, like, that was it. It was dead to him. And I don't agree with that at all, but what are you gonna do?
Oh, the sound. Oh.
Once you've been slowed to an absolute crawl, the door at the top of the stairs opens. So why, if Coda's not showing these games to anyone, why bother opening the door at all? Well, to show you, I'm modifying the game here so that when you press enter, it'll bring you back up to full speed so you can enter the door for yourself.
Do I want to do that? I guess we're going to do that. Wow. A lounge. It's given the blocks of text explaining what's happening. A series of lavish manuals, because with give you instruction on how to play. You are a gate. A button you press
A room
to stop
that's
the chaos
warm
that doesn't work.
and nice and filled with little ideas for games.
Game filled with chairs, except one chair is floating. Sharks are trying to eat you. Simultaneously, you are
Coda
trying to
would
eat
often
the
tell me that
sharks.
he didn't mind if people thought of him as cold or distant.
My God.
He said that he knew that he was actually a vibrant and compassionate person, but that it takes time to really see that. It can be a very slow climb to get there.
There's a pair of floating eyes emitting footstep noises. A key in one game unlocks a door in a completely separate game. Ready, set, fish. This is so weird. I love it. Such personality. I don't know, he got me with the titles. They did these weird titles, Ready, Set, Fish, and I'm like, I should have known better than to expect something so straightforward.
Well, this is new for Coda. It's an actual puzzle. Go ahead and see if you can solve it.
Ooh, smoky. Okay. Whoa. Huh. Okay, wait, wait a minute.
Don't forget that
How cool.
solution, because we're going to see this puzzle again soon. We're gonna see it a lot.
Alright. These 3 dots. Okay. Oh. The music is so nice. This is lovely.
So that seems to be it, right? You walk down a corridor, you solve a puzzle, you get to the end. Simple enough. All right, now I'm going to modify the game again so that when you press enter, it'll remove all of the walls from this room.
Ooh, that's exciting. All right, here we go. Whoa. What?
How about that? There was more to it than we had any way of knowing. I actually find it funny that this game comes after the Stairs game since they essentially convey the opposite idea. So, in the Stairs game, a dull exterior concealed a rich interior. And then, in this level, a dull interior hides this fantastic outer world. Either way, I think that the point is the same, is that most of the time you don't get to know what you're missing, or even that you're missing anything. That's not your role as a player. So if your role here is not to understand, then what is it?
Damn. If your role here is not to understand, then what is your role? You are now
Aha.
exiting.
So this, combined with the entering game from earlier, tells us that Coda believes his games are connected somehow. It could even be that the Stairs game and the puzzle game are literally connected in between this and the entering game. There's a bigger picture that all of his games are meant to play a role in, some larger meaning that we won't be able to grasp until we've seen all of them. And once we have, we can step back and start to understand what exactly that bigger picture is.
2009 March. The Great and Lovely Descent. Ooh.
Let's talk about video game development for a second. Every video game runs on what's called an engine, which determines what the game can and cannot do. So in other words, the engine is a set of tools for game development.
Yeah. The
To make all of
Streetwise.
these games, Coda is using an engine called Source. Like all engines, Source has certain things that it does well, and it has certain things that it does poorly. One of the things that it does very well is boxy linear corridors. That's why so many of Coda's games are set in these large, flat, empty rooms, is just because he's working with what the engine does well.
Oh, that's fair.
The tools available to the creator shape what kinds of creative work they're going to end up making. You might consider paying attention to the architecture in Coda's games to notice how they seem to stem from an engine that's very good at producing linear, boxy corridors.
Yeah. And even with that, you could tell there's a style, right? There's a feel, there's a vibe. So, whoa. Okay. Ooh. A little bit of, like, cell shading. Whoa. Oh, God. All right. Oh. I'm just kind of doing. But then again, isn't that part of the discussion we just had? Is like it's not for us to know. Oh man. It's not for us to understand what we're missing. It's not our role. We're meant to do, meant to experience. Oh, look at that. I guess there's no fall there, so you could have just gone probably just straight down, right? I don't know. There's something there for that when you think about it. So bizarre. Cool. It's like a makeshift prison, almost? Ooh. Oh. Oh, that's cool.
This prison,
Oh.
funny enough, in Coda's original design, the doors stayed shut for a full hour before letting you go. If you don't mind, I think we're gonna skip that.
An hour? Oh,
This
okay.
is something that he and I used to argue about a lot. You know, whether a game ought to actually be playable, whether it means anything if no one can get through it. And I would always defend that, you know, all this work goes into the game, why not make it playable and accessible? And so we just got into heated arguments over it, and there was one time that after one of these conversations, he went home, and a day or two later, he sent me a zip file entitled Playable Games that was full of hundreds of individual games, each of which was just an empty box that you walked around in and nothing else. Believe me, I played every single one of those just to find out if there was like a gag hidden somewhere. There wasn't.
I was like, you want something playable? That's technically playable. But I don't know, he thinks deeper than that. He thinks beyond that. This is so neat. Because there's such like a different energy with all of this, not just every section, but hearing the stories and everything. This is cool, right? It's these 3 dots again. We're outside of the prison.
It's the puzzle again, with the exact same solution as the last time.
That's okay. You know what? Sometimes
There's
if it
still no
works,
clear indication of what makes this puzzle so special that Coda is going to return to it over and over. But I promise I'll share with you my interpretation very shortly.
all right. Let's see, is the music too loud? No, I can't change it. Okay, never mind. I want to make sure you guys can hear everything too. Okay. Oh, look at that.
Here, Coda
Yo there.
begins using a kind of dialogue system that he fashioned out of the engine's chat capabilities. Use the 1, 2, 3 buttons on your keyboard to respond.
Oh, I didn't know there was going to be things down there. I would have done another corner. You there, did you come from above? What was up there? Yes, there was a world stamped with whiteness. Yes, there was an enormous prison I spent hours in. Yes, there were these floating colored blocks. It's an enormous prison I spent hours in. That's the world above. You've been there. Now this is important. Did you have to get through a puzzle with 2 doors and switches? Yes, I did. That was literally the last thing I did before coming here. No, I don't remember having to go through any puzzle. Prefer not to tell you. After all, we've only just met. Yes, I did. Again, perfect. Now please, tell us how you solved it. Tell us the solution. Tell us how to get to the other side. I don't remember how I solved it. try to remember, but I can't. I didn't solve it, and someone else let me in. Trust me, you don't want to go over there. Oh, this is interesting. Like, oh. Two doors and switches. Trust me, you don't want to go over there. Oh no, but I do. We do. We need to get there. Do you understand? It's the most important thing in the world. We have to escape this prison. There must be an ending. I promise you, there's nothing I will want more. Whole furnace. That's cool. Neat. Oh, another one? Hello. How did you get here? Was there a puzzle you had to pass through? Yes. Do you want to know how to solve it? No, I've been right here this entire time. Yes, do you want to know how to solve it? No. We actually find the black space between the bars to be far more interesting. Have you seen it yet? Why would I care about the space between the doors? Actually, now that you mention it, I remember feeling strange as I passed through it. I don't recall space between the doors. I knew it was weird, all smoky and mysterious. Don't think too hard about it. You'll see it again soon. This is so wild.
And so we make one last descent down to the final floor of the level.
One last descent. This is so creative. I love this. Cool. Look at that.
It's a lamppost. Okay, I can't tell you quite why, but for some reason, Coda fixates on this lamppost. It's going to appear at the end of every single one of his games from here on out. I'll tell you what I think. I think that up to this point, he's been making really strange and abstract games with no clear purpose, and maybe you can only float around in that headspace for so long. Because now he wants something to hold on to. He wants a reference point. He wants the work to be leading to something. He wants a destination, which is what this lamppost is. It's a destination. We're going to see it in the work as well. His games are just going to become a lot more cohesive, a lot more fully developed, with more of a clear idea behind them. And as we go, that idea will get clearer and clearer and clearer.
All right. This is... man. I don't know what I expected, but this is more. As you walk around, you can leave notes. All notes you see are left by other players. Really? It's a note? Nice room. Not. Oh, God, with that one.
So first off, I'm sure you can deduce this, but this game is not connected to the internet. All of the notes that you're going to see have been written by Coda. This was actually the first game of his that I ever played. This was shortly after I met him at a weekend game jam in Sacramento, where I grew up. I saw him working on this very level, and it was just so different from anything that anyone else was doing. So right away I was like, I have to be friends with this person. In retrospect, I think I was probably a bit too pushy trying to get his attention. I was over-enthusiastic. But he was very gracious about it and very patient with me. And I cooled off eventually. Feel free to skip over any of these notes if they're not doing anything for you. Nothing extra is going to happen if you read all of them. Either way, to me they convey a sense of loneliness. I see this person who's filled with thoughts and feelings and beliefs and has no way to express them except as scattered and unheard voices in a game that wasn't meant to be played.
Damn. Wow. Fuck.
But it's ironic, isn't it, that in playing this game and seeing how alone Coda often felt, that we get to know him better and actually kind of connect with him. And I have to be honest with you, this idea is really seductive to me. That I could just play someone's game and see the voices in their head and get to know them better and have to do less of the messy in-person socializing. I could just get to know you through your work. I think this is why I always liked Coda's games so much, is because it felt like they let me have that connection. I felt as though he was inviting me personally into his world. And then I feel less lonely too.
Oh. Cool cavern, bro. God, it's a lot deeper than I expected it to be. A world full of notes, one man will read all of them. This summer, you will believe blue speech bubbles can talk. Do you feel like a hero yet? This game is no nice. I would like it when I could. True. That kind of is, right? Like, it's simulate. The idea is it's supposed to, like, simulate. Like, oh, these are all messages left by people, but they're all left by him. And, you know. It is kind of that lonely feeling because it is, you know. But there's not flying penguin. Let me tell you, is the most majestic thing I'd ever seen. I don't feel like living because nothing will ever be as majestic as that. I never want to see again if nothing will ever be that beautiful again. I'm crying now and plan on ripping my eyes out. I must go now to do that. Don't do that. I wouldn't recommend it. How is there wood and grass and concrete here? What the snow. I was gonna say. Right? What the shit is this cavern? Boring. I can assure you, guarantee that there is an acorn somewhere here in this place, and the sailors are looking for it. What? Man, this is... Hey guys, just looking for someone to talk with. Aren't we all? I refuse to believe. Show. Butt-ass butt. This is ridiculous. I had to go to the frickin' bathroom. Recognize me, please. There's so many messages. There's so many more. There's nothing here. Go back. Don't listen to that guy. Oh god, it's like From Software messages all over again. Oh, that's funny. Even though they're all written by him, they each have such a different energy. Thinking about it, it's like it does feel like mixed messages. It feels like that. Can I just... No. Okay, well, I guess I just gotta go forward. Oh, man. I don't know, maybe. I don't know, I kind of want to read them all, though. That's just... I don't know, maybe that's part of the message that he's trying to send us. You know? Maybe it's okay to not know. Maybe I'm not supposed to know. A free t-shirt. Need other side. Door, why you so? Door, how open? Makes game, includes door, cannot open door. Thanks. Open Sasame. It's all same. Someday I'll meet the person who made this. That'd be nice. I help people because of the internal good feeling I get. Whoa. New room. Do you hear the chimes? They keep going, don't they? Or like very much to be desired. Same. Scared of writing something? Don't want to feel judged. It's not very crowded here. You can go in here, I think. Welcome. Congratulations. I don't really know where to go with this. Don't bother. A game where you leave notes and suddenly everyone's a poet. That's funny. True. This is where I get off. That's inappropriate. I failed to write anything here. I am compelled. Stop. Turn back. Proceeding further will only result in misery. Take my hand. Let's jump together. Cabbage shapes our nation. That's deep. What is that painting? True. It does not matter if you ever get over there. Hey, don't talk about me that way. Very good game. I think this is not going anywhere. That's a good point. Next time I will do better. You will, don't worry. I need someone to talk to. This is a note? Don't listen to the other notes. They lie to you. Deceitful. I'm not safe. This is so interesting. Oh, today I learned you cannot fall off. Ethical. Ethical. Are you lonely note all the way over here? Stop faking it. Okay. Painting. What does it mean? What does any of it mean? Well done, all of you. Whoever made this has issues. Art. True. So true. Hey guys, how's it going? Just hanging. Help, I'm trying to speak. I think it's about how things look messy from up close and perfect from far away. Look at that, we got a poet. So deep thinking. From here, it just looks like dots. I mean, what is a dot? Right? What is a dot? What does a dot represent? Is a dot because we give it meaning? Or is a dot something more that we can't quantify? Cabbage shapes our nation. God, it's so finally true. We will all day some die. That's not what it says. We will all die someday. Man, who are all of you? I saw a person walking down there. Now it won't come back. Sad. Devil Tower Star. Devil Tower Star. It's all about how this game is pretentious and you all suck. I mean, no. Stop pretending you are other people. Spoilers, it doesn't mean anything. Devil Tower Star. If it doesn't mean anything, then does that not in itself give it meaning? For it to mean nothing, it now has meaning. For it to be void of meaning, Could it exist truly without meaning? Because the acknowledgement that it means nothing is acknowledging it as something. Maybe I'll feel real someday. That's the dream. He was himself the most horrible creature he could imagine. Well, I'm here now. Yeah, we're all here now. There must be a reason for it, though. His terrible secret. He kept it well. I beat the game. Sure. More room?
At the end of this level, we're going to see the puzzle again. And here, I'll tell you what I think the puzzle means. Each of these games represents an idea that was on Coda's mind at the time that he was making it. And the puzzle is a way of closing the door on a previous chapter of his life before moving on to the next one.
Yeah, that's interesting. The whispers. Almost there. I've seen everything. I've traveled the world. I have never told anyone. I wish there were notes in the real world. Oh my god, could you imagine? Become one with the spiraling nonsense. Embrace the nonsense. Downward. Keep digging.
In each of his games, after exploring a theme that, he might find difficult, Coda can then place this puzzle that he knows has a reliable solution, he understands exactly how it works, and so it gives him a simple mechanism for moving on.
Yeah, that's not a bad thing. I like that. Does this puzzle have a solution? Oh my god, I've been here for literally an hour. WTF do I do? Help. Help. Shit. How do you solve it? Developer, answers please. This doesn't make sense. The second door won't open.
And because there's this dark area between the doors, a space between spaces, before you move on, you get to pause. Just for a moment, a few seconds to reflect on and let go of the events that led you here. To step back and connect the pieces together. To grasp at that elusive bigger picture.
This is a thinker. I like this. I'm heading back to the start later, guys. Guys, it's not so bad in here. No solution. No answer, I think. There is no second switch. They don't have the pro gamer instincts we have. It's interesting too, because like there's all those notes we didn't even get to see. Those typewriters. How do you leave notes? Oh, the lamppost again. Are you there? Please say something. It can be anything. I just need you to say something. Talk to me, please. Are you having so much difficulty speaking? Speak, 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 speak. Speak. Porn stars die too.
Okay, this one is tough. It's gonna kind of just spin its own wheels for a few minutes. Hang with it.
Okay. We got some art. Oh, this is nice. Kind of scary. Live really close to the cliff. Alright. Oh. Ooh. Alright, this is bougie. This is cool. Oh.
See, like, this is it. The whole game. And there's nothing that's particularly interesting about it. You just walk to the end of a hallway. Except, for some reason, Coda gets really fixated on this prison that has all of this modern furniture. And I don't know why, but he decides he needs to revisit this prison. He's gonna start over, use the same assets, turn it into something else. Okay, cool. Here's version 2.
Whoa. I was gonna say, you got rid of the hallway, too. What furniture ought to go in the center of the room? How about a TV with surround sound? A refrigerator. Put a giant hole in the ground. Put a giant hole in the ground. I mean, close. Okay, now, what about along the wall of the room? Let's put a huge picture of a horse. Really like a washing machine. 10 stove lined up along the wall. Huge picture of a horse. We're getting there. We should light up this room a bit. Skylight, full ceiling, window. Let's open this baby up. I'm thinking 10 by 12 recessed electric 6-inch soft LED ceiling lights with fluorescent trim. We'll put live Tesla coils in each corner. Yeah. Live Tesla coils each corner. At a table. You need a table. Who are you? Where are you doing this from? I'm pretty sure none of my choices are making any difference. Tables were invented in 1935. Tables were invented in 1935. That's tempting. 1935. Beautiful. Look at that. Whoa.
There's a bit more to this one, but still, it's not really communicating anything. It's kind of just weird for weirdness' sake.
That's okay sometimes. Sometimes you gotta get weird.
So, okay, he throws it out and starts over. This time he comes at the prison idea from a different direction.
Hello, please walk forward. Okay, thank you. This guide will enable you to escape any prison environment. Great. Follow the instructions carefully. Take care that you remember each step. First, click on this table. Oh, good. Go over to the photo frame and click it. Click to turn it slightly. Now, turn the floor lamp in this room off, then turn it back on. Now go to the left side sofa. Move it over a little. Finally touch the shelves. That's it. In a real prison, the escape will now open. Return to the start to be taken back to your prison. Is that right? Is that... Man, see, this is what the secrets the government doesn't want you to know. Alright. Return. Oh.
And of course, now the table is gone and you can't begin the chain of events to escape. Here's a version where there are no bars, but you can't actually get to the well. And then a version where the inside of the prison is the outside and the outside is the inside. Let me just blink you real quick through a few more of these. I mean, he really unloaded on this prison idea. There's nearly a dozen of them. Personally, I think it's awful to watch this, to see a person basically unraveling through their work. And for what? Like, at what point do you just go, maybe there are game ideas other than this prison that I could be working on? But Coda doesn't have that voice telling you to stop, that particular mechanism of defense against yourself. Without it, you just spiral. And so he keeps going and going and going and going and going, and then he hits on something. And he likes it. And that's it. He's done. He stops making prisons.
Oh,
This is the very last version of the prison game that he created. And the reason I think it works is that the prison is not actually in it.
what? This is so wild. This is crazy. This is so cool. Or if in a way, your work can become a prison. This is... Oh? Oh. Hello? Who is this? Hi. Hey, it's me. I'm you from after you escaped the prison. You're me? Hmm. So you're trapped in this prison too? Yep. I was
It's
in
a
the
conversation.
furniture maid.
And so this is what Coda wants, is to be able to talk to someone, to share what's on his mind, and to get some good advice from someone who knows. But the irony is that even in this scenario, you're still talking to yourself. You know, all of these games so far are Coda talking to himself.
Yeah. Yep, I was in the furniture maze. That's where I am right now. Oh, I'm so glad to know that I get out eventually. What's it like to escape? Actually, I'm already forgetting what being in the prison was like. It's strange, but in a way I kind of miss being in the prison. It feels like being completely still and wildly emotion at the same time. That one. Do you feel any different? Sometimes I'm scared I'll get out and then things will be exactly the same as before. No, I'm really the same person now as I was back then. It actually does change. I don't feel like the same person at all. Not at all. Oh, good. That's so nice to hear. That makes me feel really happy. Age just kind of does that, you know? I'm still me, but I'm not somehow. It's hard to describe. Remember to enjoy being who you are right now. It won't last. No, I'm still me, but I'm not somehow. It's hard to describe. Wait, if you're me, then did you get a call from another version of you when you were trapped? No, I think I'm the first person to call back. Yes, I did get a call. That's how I escaped. Oh, this is interesting. 'Cause we didn't get a call, but we got a tutorial. But they're the first person to call back. Then can you tell me how to get out? Maybe I can come find you. What do I have to do? To get out, all you have to do is be sincere. To get out, you need to tell me how you feel right now. To get out, just talk with me for a bit. To get out, just talk with me for a bit. What? That will free me? How does that work? Listen, I can't know until you're out, but I promise it works. Just talk to me. It'll make sense. Just talk to me. Okay, I can talk. Let's just talk for a bit. Will you be here? I'll be here for as long as you need. Oh,
I can see why he considers this a fitting conclusion to the prison games. After all of the obsession and frustration, just to be told by someone you can trust that things are going to be okay. Wouldn't that be nice?
hmm. That's kind of
So
sad.
what would it look like
Yeah.
if Coda wanted to make a game about talking to someone other than himself?
Oh, okay.
To me, this environment is meant to represent Coda's puzzle, with the 2 doors on either side and a dark transitional space between.
Go here first. Ooh. Ooh. Spill. At least it's glass. It's a nice fireplace. Whoa. Well, my goodness. I'm glad as heck that you showed up. Though I might have to clean this entire house all by myself, and right miserable that would have been. Somebody knows lonesome hands make lousy homes.
You'll notice that the quality
this-
of the art is a step up from previous games, including this new and improved chat system, which he started using from this point on. From here on out, he begins putting much more effort into the visual polish of his work, and this particular game took 2 months to create as a result.
Man, this is so neat. I love this. Don't worry about me. A place this nice, I'll be glad to stay here all night. Lousy homes make home loners. We're cleaning this whole place? Don't worry about me. A place like this, I'll be glad to stay here all night. Well, now you might just be getting a little ahead of yourself there now. Why don't we start cleaning, then you decide whether you can do it all night. I'll finish up here. In the meantime, could you please clear the table? Oh, clear the table. Yeah, I mean, look at this. This is like textures, and this is nice. Oh, much nicer. That's the table I want to see. Now, would you please run to the bedroom and make the bed? Oh, yeah, that's right. It's over here. We saw it with the... Yeah, look at that. Make the bed. Oh, cozy. While you're in there, why don't you straighten out the rug a bit? All the little details matter. Nice. Do you enjoy being a house cleaner? How'd you end up doing this job? It's been a long time since I've seen a house this messy. Do you enjoy being a house cleaner? Well, I don't enjoy it as much as I need it. While I'm working, I feel a kind of calm that rests in the pit of my ribcage. My soul just can't be soothed any other way, it seems. Which I guess is all that matters. Oh, that and a tidy couch. Would you straighten the pillows on the sofa out here? Oh, nope, this way. Arrange the pillows. Nice. Oh dear, looks like someone spilled a drink over by the couch. Maybe mop that up, as long as you're over there. Right, clean. I feel compelled to share an incredibly cheesy personal insight. You okay with that? Make it especially cheesy. Yeah, I'll try to get by. You absolutely have to. Make it especially cheesy. No. No, it was stupid. Sorry, never mind. Aw, come on. Hey, these dishes need to be washed. Why don't you come and do that? Sure. Wash the dishes. Nice. Last I checked, the tub needed a cleaning. How about you scrub it down as best you can? No need to be perfect, we're all just human. It's a nice tub. Are there still books scattered on the floor in the bedroom? If so, would you put them back on the shelf? Ah, nice. Perfect. Now then, how about you come and clear these dishes off the table?
After the intense set of prison games, this house cleaning level almost feels like cleansing. It's the moment after a particularly difficult or traumatic experience where you just need to let it sit and digest inside of you, and eventually cohere into something meaningful.
Yeah, this is a lot deeper than I expected this game to be. That I had no expectations, but this is a pleasant surprise. House cleaning is so difficult. How do you do it? Are all houses this easy to clean? Do these chores ever end? Let's see, house cleaning is so difficult. How do you do it? Darling, let me tell you something. Your house is only as difficult to clean as you are. If you're finding the work hard, maybe you have to have a bit of housekeeping to do before you come to work. Huh. And here I go with another lecture.
I know
Of course
that
I
Coda
would.
really liked this game. Of all of his work, actually, this was the only one that he called me up to ask me to come over and look at it. This was during a period of a few months where he was like grossly happy all the time, just walked around with a constant smile on his face.
It's like proud and happy. It's like, don't you worry about all that nonsense. For now, just smooth out the rug in the bedroom. It really is that, isn't it? Like it's nice and like the tasks are simple. You kind of just get to unwind and just do, you know? Looks like the tub has gotten rather dirty. Would you mind tidying it up a bit? Of course. Done and done. Earlier, when I said I had a really cheesy thought, I was going to say that it occurs to me that one's house is a lot like one's soul. You take care of it, and it takes care of you. Don't know why I feel so weird about saying that. I get it. It's a weird thing to say to someone you just met. Yeah, you're right. That's pretty cheesy. But there's a bit of truth in it, no? Anyway, so, housekeeping. Let's keep doing this. Books. Would you please clean up the books? Thanks. Yeah, you got it. Oh goodness, those pillows over on the couch are a real mess.
I'm glad he found some peace.
Would you ever straighten them up a bit? Can't have these folks coming home to a messy couch. I don't know. There's something about it. It's like you could look at it like, oh, we're doing the same tasks and it's like in different orders, but the conversation is still happening. Like you're talking to somebody this whole time. It's a back and forth, and I don't know. It's cozy. Question.
But,
Do you enjoy
of course, it can't last. The music stops, your companion is gone, it's time to leave. The door at the top of the hill is now open as well. Again, you can't stay in the dark space for too long. You just can't. You have to keep moving. It's how you stay alive.
I don't know. Now I kind of miss it. It's kind of. I feel like it all just got ripped away from me. Okay, so we gotta go quick. Damn, I immediately. Oh, it feels so weird.
Which is
now.
the whole point of the puzzle doors, right? That sooner or later you have to pick up and move. I really thought that was the point of it.
Items
This
you love
one
and members
gets
in
a
the
bit
prices.
goofy.
Why'd you come here today? Was it to improve your life? Was it to get a better job? Was it to make your relationships more meaningful? No. You came here to become perfect. This workshop is going to teach you how to be perfect. I want your friends, the people in your life, to look at you and think, wow, this person is a better human being than I am. Right now, who do you think about that way in your own life? Who do you know who is so well developed as a person that they make you feel disgusted with yourself, compared to whom you feel useless, selfish, ungrateful? I intend to make you into that person. Perfection is within your grasp, and the question is not how do we do it, but how do we do it effortlessly. This is easy. It is
About
so
halfway
easy.
through the game,
It is so
the
easy.
perspective shifts.
Being perfect is effortless. Oh. This is the key. How do I achieve it with no
And you
effort?
play as the teacher. And suddenly, you discover that your teacher is just as bigoted and afraid as you are. Oh, and also you can move around the classroom now.
Oh shit. This is the key. How do I achieve it with no effort? On the way to work, I told an elderly person to start contributing to society. Kids should not follow their dreams. This is the key. How do I achieve this with no effort? Well, let me tell you right now. If it isn't effortless, then it's not the right answer. I still love you. It's just that you make me feel cold on the inside. Being alone must be awful. Thank goodness all of you perceive me as being wise and intelligent. Drinking is not hurting my life. So these are like internal. These are internals. If you're torturing yourself trying to find the right solutions for your life, you're not doing it right. Do you understand that you won't be happy until you love me? This is for you. Ew, I'm developing a cyst. Gross. So you got only one thing. What is the easiest, simplest path forward? Just kidding. Anyone want to do some ecstasy after this? Oh my god. There is no truth. There is no path. What if I'm not a good teacher? Do what is easiest. Do what is simplest. Feel what is true. Holy shit, you guys. Something is coming out of the back of the room. Look out! Nothing. No one. It's coming for you. It's gonna destroy you. Run, everyone, run. Nothing. No one.
I felt pretty hard for this one. I feel like it's one of the most relatable experiences that you can have. To assume that some other person is perfect and totally fulfilled in every way, and completely miss all of the little flaws that make them painfully human. I think about this game a lot these days.
That's so good. Yeah, because even if they seem perfect, they
This one took a lot longer
Yeah.
than all the others for Coda to make. It was 4 months between this and the last one. That's twice as long as it took him to make any other game before this, and it's not like it's particularly complex, so I remember I found that a little strange at the time.
God, this is so cool. Man. This, I don't even have words. Right, 'cause the idea that we see where Coda started and kind of some of the things that he latched onto, and things were getting better, and ideas were forming, concepts was still holding on to some things. Right, like the lamppost and the puzzles. But then now we're in like a whole later phase. Like this is whoa. My god. All right, the performance is beginning. Places, please. What? In this scene, you'll be playing as me. You're at a gathering of professionals. First, you start out leaning against this wall. Oh. Casual. Good. Stay right there. The woman across the room, in this chair, is a professional photographer of animals. It's your dream to photograph animals professionally. This is your one chance to learn something from her, to gain something, to succeed. Go on. Say something to her. Hello. Sorry, I have to leave. Where is the bathroom? Hello. Hello? That's it? It's not a conversation. You actually need to converse with her. Be a human being. Do it again. I'm super scared right now. I like you. You're all my hopes and dreams. Um, I'm super scared right now. I don't know what's happening. No, 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 no. That's not what I said to her at all. You're completely missing the tone of the conversation. I was reserved, but I knew what I wanted. I was confident. For some reason, it was just that one moment, but I was confident. Maybe it's just that you need a better feel of the setting. There were a lot of people around us. I'll give you some props to work with. These cones that bounce when you touch them will represent people nearby. Now talk to her again. You must work really hard to get where you are, but you learned to lean into the pain. What are some sacrifices you had to make? Because you must have worked really hard to get where you are. You're messing it up again. You'll freak her out if the conversation gets that personal that quickly. Do you not realize how important this was for me? I'll never get another opportunity like this again. Everything was riding on this. I want to try something. Try stepping back from the stage. Whoa. Okay. Huh. Alright. Whoa. Okay, yes.
The game
Now this
ends
is
with
working.
this eerie premonition of what's going to happen next in Coda's life. The solution, social anxiety, to fears of having to perform and having to chase success, the answer for Coda is to withdraw, to hide himself away. Which is what leads to scenarios like the stairs that slowed you down several games ago, where it just becomes harder and harder to access Coda's inner landscape because he keeps retreating. He just keeps backing away from possible connections to anyone other than himself. And to be honest, I didn't consider it very healthy when I first played this game. You know, it looked to me like he was trying to justify the idea of just disconnecting yourself from the world. And that wasn't what I wanted for him or for his games. Because I feel like a lot of his games are inviting me to connect with this person, to bring him closer. But what can you do? After this, Coda went off and took another 5 months to make a new game.
5 months. Mobius trip. To play this game properly, you must keep your eyes closed. Click to begin the game. It's so... I love the introspection. It's so interesting. Like, the symbolism, right? It's not... It's all... They're all like types of projection in a way. It says a lot, right? It may be like, oh, it's a game, but it's... I don't know, it comes out in his design. What's going on? Help, I'm blind, I can't see anything. What's going on? God, I can't die like this, I can't die like this, something enormous. What's going on? What was happening to me? Please, someone talk to me. Please tell me how to solve this. Please don't let this be forever. Please, someone talk to me. Oh, God, it's the door. I'm blind. We're all blind. Oh, God. To be killed by a giant door? Oh, my. Captain, what can we do? Can't see anything.
You should probably open your eyes if you haven't already. It's pretty much impossible to solve otherwise. And there is a solution, by the way.
Please don't talk to me. Please tell me how to solve this. Please don't let this be forever. Wait, is the... There is this... Okay, wait. Wait, is it to, like... Do we have to play this with our eyes closed? Is that the idea? I don't know. Nope. I tried. I tried to go. I tried to go even beyond. Oh. Truth. The other way to stop it is to speak something that is honest. I bursted with creative energy. I can't keep making these things. My work is always fun. Can't keep making these things. Yes, that's it. That's the truth. Oh, that's sad.
Like I said, I was getting concerned. First off, he's never been this explicit in his work about exactly what he's thinking. So where's that coming from? But then even weirder, his work has potentially stopped being an outlet for him. Not like he's having trouble iterating on ideas, but he literally just can't think of new ideas anymore. And in person, he was being a lot more distant than usual. Like, you know how sometimes a person will just deflect anything that you say in order to keep themselves disconnected all the time? It was that kind of thing. Here was the point in my relationship with Coda where I really started to wonder if he needed my help in some way.
Oh god, it's so sad. I don't feel it anymore. I'm out of ideas. It's draining me. I don't feel it anymore. Keep going. Keep talking. I haven't been honest. I can't figure out how to say the thing. Thought it was going to be easy. I can't figure out how to say the thing. You're doing it. It's working. I'm alone. Oh god. I'm stuck in it. I have to work harder. God, is it that one? We're going to be okay. Oh god, that's so sad.
His games are going to get more desperate from here on out. After this game, it's almost 6 months before he finishes something new.
6 months. Or in 2010. Hello? Where am I? What is this? Hello? Oh. Where does this island come from? How do I get out of here? Where does this island come from? Oh, is that a person? How lovely. It's been a long time since I talked to anyone. What's wrong? You look lost. I'm completely out of ideas. When I try to create, I feel empty. I have nothing left to give to my work. Well, that's what this is. It's just kind of like he's doing it, but I don't know, his heart's not in it. His mind's not in it. Oh, God. Completely out of ideas. When I try to create, I feel empty. Oh no. What's happened? Did something change? There was a machine that kept me going, and it stopped. I'm trying to find this engine that used to protect me, to start it again. Trying to find this engine that used to protect me. Starting again. There's a machine that kept me going, and it stopped. Wait, you're looking for a machine? I think I know where it is. It isn't far. What? You have to take me to it. I need to see it, to know why it stopped.
If the
I can
last
take you to it.
game
There's a
featured
problem.
Coda talking explicitly about his creative frustrations, this one turns it up to 11. Now, put yourself in my shoes playing this. Here's a friend whose work is exhibiting signs of struggle, frustration, anxiety, depression, even. And yet, still, he keeps making games. He keeps throwing himself into the grinder even when he clearly doesn't have the energy for it anymore. Why? What is it for?
Oh, God. It's guided by a difficult puzzle. If you can help me solve the puzzle, you'll find the machine. Deal? Deal? Deal. It doesn't matter what I say, does it? We're gonna end up there one way or another, right? God, that's so sad. Dave, even selecting that one, it just still says deal. Perfect. Come along. I'll show it to you.
Because from my perspective at the time and just what I knew of him, this was a result of how isolated he was. He was in his own little bubble, just sitting at his computer all day, not really showing these games to anyone, not releasing them onto the internet, and so he didn't have anyone outside of himself to connect with. He had no outlet to ground himself on.
God. Here's the puzzle. What do you think? Hey, I recognize this. I've solved this puzzle before. This is easy. I recognize this. Oh, wonderful. Can you tell me how to do it? First you have to close the door, first you have to open the door, first you have to press the switch inside. First you have to open the door. Okay, now what? Now you have to close the first door. Alright, what's next? Now you press the switch here.
You can't
It was so
talk
simple.
yourself out of loneliness. It doesn't work that way. You can't be the one writing both the questions and the answers. Then there's no movement. Then there's no circulation. If all of your anxieties are being channeled into your work, then if the work ever fails, you have no backup and you're just going to crash.
Oh my God. I can't believe I never solved it before. This. Oh God, it's so... there's feelings. You're just gonna crash. When I try to create, I feel empty. Where did this island come from? Hello? Deal. Hey, I recognize this. I need to see it to know how I had stopped. It was a machine that kept me going, and it stopped. Oh, these are all my choices. Alright. Okay, here we are. What are you talking about? There's no machine here. Breathing. There's no machine here, there's just words and some walls. What are you talking about? Trust me. You'll see. You just say that your work is fun and easy. You have to say that game development is simple and joyous and that you love it 100% of the time. Fuck. Okay, making games is simple. Okay, making games is easy. Alright, making games is effortless. Making games is easy. Ah, that feels wonderful. But it wasn't true. Why did the walls just crumble? Why did I feel so awful when I said that? Don't worry about it. Just keep talking. Keep saying that creation is easy. When I make games, I feel completely energized, constantly excited and enthusiastic about my work. It is easy, it never stops being easy. Oh God. Constantly excited and enthusiastic about my work. Yes, that's wonderful. Keep going.
Seeing this game at the time that he made it, it looked really unhealthy to me. I was watching him do this to himself, and I hated it. I hated seeing him so trapped. It's like, video games are not worth this amount of suffering.
True. Every time I make something, I feel better about myself. Just never stop creating and you'll never feel bad. Just a simple solution. God. Every time I make something, I feel better about myself. Just never stop creating and you never feel bad. Perfect.
This
That
is someone I
feels
really cared
fantastic.
about. And I used to get so much joy out of seeing him create. For him to suddenly become angry and frustrated like this, it was the worst thing for me.
None of this is helping. I'm gonna vomit. Please, where's the machine? Please, where's the machine? Patience, you have to trust me. I promise this will work. Please continue. Pain breezes effortlessly off me. Any sacrifices made for my work are worth it 100% of the time. It always pays off eventually. Pain breezes effortlessly off me. Yes, more. Keep
I
going.
don't know. This is what I felt at the time. I don't know how else to explain it. I wanted it to stop more than anything. I had never felt so rotten. I needed more than I had ever needed anything for this to stop.
Oh, God. There is no shame, no fear, no guilt. I will be saved by my work. I believe this, unquestionably. I am a vessel for certainty. There is no shame, no fear, no guilt. Incredible. That's it. I'm free. I'm free. What? Oh, God.
But it didn't stop. After finishing this one, Coda takes another 7 months and comes up with a new game.
They're not even games anymore. The machine. Man. Fuck. Ma'am, glad to see you arrive safely. You captured the machine, it's waiting for you now. You can begin the interrogation whenever you like. I intend to be quick, I intend to be quiet, I intend to be brutal. I intend to be quick. Very good. Just be warned that someone called the press, so we might have a bit of attention on this one. Also, one more thing that you should know about the machine. It calls itself Coda. Whoa. What the? Oh God, it's the press. Oh God, it's the press. When do we get to me? What are we gonna do with it? You know the poisonous games. What is the machine? Will it be punished? What is the machine? Do you know the poisonous games have come from? Will the machine never explain itself? Where do you find the machine? Hello, ma'am, ma'am. Hello, hello. We have a few questions for the paper. What could you tell us? Will it be punished? Where is the machine now? What are your next actions? What can you tell us?
And of course, it's the machine.
You stopped. You stopped feeding us. Your work was keeping us alive. Your work was keeping us healthy. Your work was keeping us alive. Those people out there, can you imagine what pain you've put them through? It was only because of your creations that any of us could make it through every day. How could we possibly go back to trusting you to do this job? Together, can you imagine what pain you've put them through? So here's what needs to happen. You need to go out and apologize to them. You have to admit to the people that you allowed them to suffer. I've been so alone. Apologize for leaving me. No, nothing. Think carefully. I know how to hurt you. I've seen the thing you fear. No, nothing. All right then. I'll apologize to the people on your behalf. Oh boy. My followers. My friends. It falls on me to deliver bad news. I have a troubling revelation. The machine will not apologize to us. The machine refuses to admit that it deliberately hurt us. The machine will not apologize to us. But this is not important. We are stronger than it thinks we are. We will find a way to live without it. We do not need its games. Oh, God. We'll find a way to live without it. We do not need its games. But this is not important. We are strong. We are stronger than it thinks we are. Oh, God. Let us pay it retribution. Let us show it that we are not failures. Follow me, we will destroy the machine. Follow me, we will destroy everything that the machine has created. I don't like either of these. We will destroy the machine. We will destroy everything that the machine has created. I don't like any of this. Destroy everything the machine has created. God. Okay. Right.
Remember, you can click to fire the gun.
Oh, shit. Oh, this is... Oh, this is just sad.
So now the work is becoming self-destructive. And I'll tell you, at the time that I first played this game, shortly after he made it, here's what I'm thinking to myself. I'm thinking that code is stuck in his own head, and that it's having a very negative effect on him, and that all he needs to do is just start showing his work to people, to get some actual feedback on his games. It might get him out of isolation. And so, as I'm thinking this, I realize that I could be the one to initiate it. Because it would never occur to Coda to start actively soliciting feedback, so what if I did it for him? If he could see the difference it would make to have more actual conversations with other human beings, would that bring him out of his mental spiral? Would it give him confidence in himself? Would it bring meaning back into his work?
True. This feels so tragic.
So I started showing Coda's work to people. I took this one, and the islands that you just played, the theater, the notes, the house cleaning game, and some of the prison escape games. I brought them to people that I knew and trusted. I asked their opinions. And the great part is that they really loved his games. You know, the point of it all was just to give him some external reference point, but they genuinely loved his work. There was nothing for him to be afraid of.
Put down your weapon. I don't...
Can you see why I felt like this was the right thing to do? Because it's the thing that I always feel like I need, to be told that my work is good, that I am good. When someone really connects with a thing that I've made, when they see themselves purely in my work, there's nothing that feels better. And I got to give that very same feeling to my friend. I did something... I really felt like I'd done something good, like I was a good person. I felt like there was a friend who was in trouble and was unhappy and maybe didn't like themselves, and I could fix it. If I could give him this gift, maybe I could fix the problem. When they told me how much they enjoyed his games, it was the best feeling. It was the absolute best feeling. It made me feel so happy. So beautifully, beautifully happy.
But...
So anyway, Coda finishes this game, and then really he just kind of takes off for a while. So this is June of 2011, and I didn't hear anything from him for several weeks, I guess. And so out of nowhere, one day I get an email, and it's got a private link to a new game of Coda's. This one is called The Tower, and to my knowledge, it's the last game that Coda ever made. So let's take a look.
Oh. The tower.
And this is where I have trouble saying anything meaningful about Coda's work. Because more than anything else, the tower just feels distant. It feels like it's trying to distance itself from the world. It's a very cold game.
Oh my god. This is... Yeah.
This room actually has a maze in it.
Damn.
Except that all the walls of the maze are invisible. And then every time you touch one of the walls, there's this awful flashing and noise, so the experience is really miserable. The game goes beyond not being meant to be played, it actually seems to despise the player for trying to play it at all. But I do want to show you the rest of the levels, so when you're ready to continue, press enter and I'll put a bridge over the maze.
Wow. Oh, Coda, this is so sad. I remember these walls. Right, like it's not just like dark and like lighting wise, but yeah, cold is.
And to be fair, it's not like this is the first game that's needed some modification to be playable. Like the house cleaning game. You know, that one used to actually loop the cleaning chores and you just cleaned a house forever. I had to cut it off so that you could exit the house and the game would actually end. But that game had an idea that it was actually trying to communicate. What's the deeper idea behind the invisible maze?
What is the deeper idea? Damn,
The only way past this challenge is to randomly guess the 6-digit code. Like the invisible maze, it's frustrating to me, because it's the opposite of everything else that Coda has made. It doesn't encourage thought or engagement. It doesn't ask anything of me, except a lot of my time. If I could have reached him during this time, then maybe I could have asked him, but I couldn't. I still don't really understand why this is here. I'll put the code on the ground for you here, though, so that we can move on.
Oh my, this is. I mean, because you, oh God, you can literally see not just like Coda's mental state, but also like the drive between the earlier game designs and the later one, and then this one, right? Man. I mean, it seems to say a lot about where he's at. Because it's not meant to be beaten. It can on a technical level, sure, but to get there, I don't know, is something like. Because I mean, like, if we didn't have the bridge and we didn't have the number, I mean, we're putting in a ton of effort and still failing. No matter how much we try and care, right? It still doesn't actually matter. It doesn't change anything.
The switch to open this door is actually on the other side of the door, meaning that it's literally impossible to solve from this side. So even if you somehow brute forced your way through the first 2 challenges and you got to this point, there's actually just no way to progress. And it's scary for me, the idea of Coda cutting himself off entirely, just saying, that's it, that's the end of the conversation, not giving me any way to fix the problem. I feel like a failure, I guess, when I can't fix the problem. But I can open this door for you, so let me do that.
Fuck.
Was I a failure for not understanding this game? I mean, I don't know why I would be. It's not like everything needs to have a solution, but I feel it somehow. I feel like I failed, and I don't understand why.
Yeah, that's good.
I remember, it's
Wow.
June of 2011. I'm playing this for the very first time. And as I'm playing, I'm thinking to myself, I don't know this person. I have no idea who this person is. It wasn't the guy I knew, it wasn't my friend. I had come to so many conclusions from looking at all of his work up to this point, and then suddenly none of them.
Doesn't make any sense. On the surface.
I had been trying to, though. That was the thing. For years, I was trying to get to know him, to understand who he actually was and what he stood for. I asked him so many times to please just tell me what his games mean to him. I asked him please to tell me what the 3 dots mean. And he wouldn't.
Yeah, the three dots on the wall we saw 2 times. He's trying to get to know him, but not, in a way, not letting him in. It's like craving connection, but like also afraid of that.
I just felt so strongly that if I could have connected with him, that if I could have somehow made his work my own, that I would finally be once and for all happy. It was that I needed to see myself in someone else. I needed to be someone other than me. But he stopped and left, and it felt somehow like I had failed.
Damn. I'm...
Where did I screw up?
I feel that. Dear Davey, thank you for your interest in my games. I need to ask you not to speak to me anymore.
I'm the reason that you stopped making games, aren't I? It's because of what I did. I poisoned it for you.
Oh, that's so sad. Oh. So that's from Coda. I
don't think I ever told you this, but when I took your work and I was showing it to people, it actually felt... it felt as though I were responsible for something important and valuable.
Interesting. I wonder times whether you think I'm making these games for you. Wonder if that's the impression that you let. You've so infected my personal space that it's possible I did begin to plant solutions in my work somewhere, hidden between games.
And the people who played them, they treated me like I was important. They really listened and cared about what I had to say. Even though I was showing your work, I felt good about myself. Finally. For a moment, while I had that, I liked myself.
Oh. So I feel like using Coda's work and the process. It's more about how like good it felt to Davey was more valuable. There was an answer, a meaning. Would it make you any happier? Would you stop taking my games and showing them to people against my wishes? Yeah, I felt that immediately when he was saying that, yeah, if I show them to people, you know, and he could, and Coda can see that people love what he makes, you know, maybe that'll help. But it's like, maybe he is intentionally not showing it off, right? I mean, sure, you could think like, oh, he's afraid of putting it out there, putting himself out there, opening himself up to that sort of like criticism, right? And um, positive or negative feedback and everything. It's like maybe he just doesn't want that. They're cathartic, right? Giving them something that is not yours to give, violating the one boundary that keeps me safe. Damn. Would you stop changing my games? Stop adding lampposts to them?
And then you stopped, and I didn't have anything left to show people. I just had to be with myself. And as soon as that happened, there was no feeling at all. Nothing. Less than nothing. What does that mean?
Fuck. Oh, God. That would you simply let them be what they are? Yeah, because like you look back at all of the little games of Codas that we've kind of been going through, and we've experienced, the state, whether finished or unfinished, it doesn't matter. Like we experienced them for what they are, but then Davies added shortcuts or ways to get around it, or a solution when there wasn't one. Like the idea of just simply that one with the towers and the stairs, that when you go up the stairs you immediately slow down. You don't stop, but you go incredibly slow, and the door opens, right? And that's the experience that Coda made. That's what it is. And Davy was like, "Oh, I'll let you go at full speed so you can go up there and go in the room." And it's like he's changing it, adding little things. The fact that the lampposts are Davies, putting them in there when they weren't meant to be. It's damn, man. When I'm around you, I feel physically ill. Hmm. You desperately need something, and I cannot give it to you. I literally do not have it. Struggling to come up with new ideas is not making me depressed. Low points are just a part of the process. The fact that you think I'm frustrated or broken says more about you than about me. Oh, shit. So it's like getting, I don't know, it's like because yeah, Davey's getting these games and then almost like psychoanalyzing them, right? And when they're really an expression of codas, like obviously like there's the pain and internal struggle and the feelings and everything, and then davy Davy's like, I can fix this, I should fix this, it's my responsibility to fix this. And then immediately was feeling good about himself rather than what he was doing. I don't I, I realize that this doesn't make sense to you just yet, which is fine. You're not my problem to solve. But I do hope that one day it clicks and that you make peace with this thing you are wrestling.
I'm afraid that I did something really stupid because I don't like myself.
And when you finally see what I'm talking about, don't say anything. Jeez.
That's why I'm releasing this collection of your work, is because I haven't been able to find any other way to reach you. I've tried everything. And so a part of me has hope that if I put this compilation out into the world, and if I put my name on it, that maybe enough people will play it so that it'll find its way to you, so that I can tell you that I'm sorry. I know I screwed up. If I apologize to you truly and deeply, will you start making games again? Please, I need to feel okay with myself again. And I always felt okay as long as I had your work to see myself in. I mean, is something wrong with me? Because I know that I did an awful thing, and I'm doing it again right now. Like, I'm showing people your work, but I can't stop myself from doing it. That's how badly I need to feel something again, like I'm an addict. There has to be something wrong with me. Can I apologize? What if I tell you I was wrong? Will that work? Will that fix it? I don't know. I don't think it will, but there's nothing else that I can do. Just tell me what you want. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please, start making games again. Please help me. Please give me some of whatever it is that makes you complete. I want whatever that wholeness is that you just summoned out of nothing and you put into your work. You were complete in some way that I never was. And I want to know I want to know how to be a good person. I want to know how not to hate myself. Please. I'm fading, and all I want is to know that I'm going to be okay.
Epilogue. Whew. Well, that told a lot. That said a lot.
More love, more praise, more people telling me that I'm good. Always more. It's like a disease.
I don't even know what to say. God, it's just so clear. Like, it's like, and what do I'm trying to figure out the words to go and, to say like, oh, you're doing a good thing for him, right? You're doing this good thing for to help him, but really it's to help yourself. And I mean, yeah, it's like even now this is still for Dave. This isn't even for Coda. Right? So you say, oh, please make games again, please. I need you to make games. Not because I want you to do it for yourself, but because I need you to do this so that I can feel good. I can use this. Fuck. The fact that even Coda in the email was literally like, no, ups and downs and the lows, and you get in a creative rut. It's like, that's just part of the process. That's how this goes. And you got the internal judgment, the sort of like, oh, everyone's everyone's got that, the internal voice, right? Be like, you, what is it like? The conversation with the engine, right? The machine, the internal drive. It's like, what happened? We were so creative at one point. You know, come on, and it's like writer's block or stuff like that, and you eventually get past it. It's not the end of everything, but then kind of
Solution. Solution. Solution.
and that's all seemed to be Davey's focus, which was I gotta fix this. I want to fix this. I need to fix this. You need me to fix you. And then changing the games to giving them
I guess if someone had told me
solutions.
ahead of time that he just really enjoyed making prison games, maybe I wouldn't have thought he was so desperate. I wouldn't have told so many people that he was depressed. Maybe he just likes making prisons.
Maybe. Because it's all creative outlets, right? You always put a piece of yourself in the art that you make, and maybe he himself felt that his own art was maybe a bit of a prison. But then maybe by making, I mean, am I gonna, I don't know, is it like, but when he makes the prison games, is that like that moment of kind of breaking out? And yeah, so yeah, telling everybody that he was depressed, that he's struggling, he's messed up, then going in, sharing his games without permission, right? But explicitly being like, I don't want to share these. I'm doing it on purpose. I'm not releasing these online. And then yeah, and then here, right, in the compilation of all these games, adding solutions to things that didn't have them, and kind of tainting the vision, right? Even though it's like, oh well, now you can finish the game, now you can do it, but that was never the point.
Even now, the disease is telling me to stop. Don't show people what a shitty person you are. They'll hate you.
I feel that. Don't it that the internal voice.
If I knew that my life depended on finding something to be driven by other than validation, what would that even be? It's strange, but the thought of not being driven by external validation is unthinkable. Like, I actually cannot conceive of what that would be like.
Yeah, which is not what Coda needed. Coda never needed the validation for their games, for what they were doing. And, well, Davey thought that Coda did. But then when Davey started getting that external validation from others, then it became, I don't want to say like an addiction, but it became like a need. So it's like needed Coda, so that by extension he could feel good. This is an interesting section. Because there's nothing, but at the same time, it's part of the question. Are you going because there's something? Or are you going to go? Or... This is fascinating. I don't hear my footsteps. I'm just like sitting with all of this is a lot, and it doesn't seem like I'm able to move anywhere. This is interesting, because I don't understand, and maybe that's the point. Okay, this makes a lot more sense. There was an issue with the actual game. I had to change it from full screen to window back to full. It was weird. I was like, interesting artistic interpretation of, like actual pitch black and navigating through it. I was like, I think I was there for like a half an hour before I was like, I don't think this is right. I don't think this is right. I think something's off about this. Symbolic, like, I don't know, some kind of symbolism. Right, but this makes way more sense. I didn't want to put it past the game to do something like that.
If I knew that my life depended on finding something to be driven by other than validation, what would that even be? It's strange, but the thought of not being driven by external validation is unthinkable. Like, I actually cannot conceive of what that would be like.
Yeah, I have a lot of thoughts. I have a lot of thoughts on this. There's a lot of layers, right? And also not. Because I think in interpreting
What now?
Interpreting that there are layers may be actually part of what the message is. But we'll talk about that.
I think I need to go. And I'm sorry, because I know that I said that I would be here and I would walk you through this, but I'm starting to feel like I have a lot of work to do. I have a lot that I need to make up for. And so I'm just gonna... Okay.
That's sad. Mm. This game, this game in the game, this is an interesting one. It says a lot without saying a lot. Oh. Damn. We're back here. We're a different part of here. This game is something. No way. All the way back. It all leads back to the Whisper Machine. The sounds. We know what to do. Or like one of the first solutions that Coda ever put into a game. Whoa. It's like an infinite maze. Wow.
Turn back.
For R.
Turn back from this cave. You said, let me prove
This project would not have been possible without the following individuals:
let me keep going.
Richard, Helena, Ryan, Matthew, Jesus, Lydia, Jack.
The cave goes for
Turn Back
miles
by Helena Heron.
and
Performed by Helena Heron. Ryan Roth. Oh, is this her?
and you're so tired
Wow. Oh my god. What? That was a roller coaster. That was I it, that was amazing. And oh my god, there's so many. It started out so beautiful, right? So it was cool just showing off his friends' games, and then um and then it just got real. And it's interesting because that is it. It's like you can see it, right? Man, this was so cool. This was amazing. Thank you, Ree, for sending this to me. It was a great gift alongside Stanley Parable. And so this oh my god, this says it says so much, right? And I'm just gonna kind of, like, I don't really know where to start. I don't know where to start, right? Uh, I think it's so interesting because we see the relationship between Davy and Coda, right? And how it started off as sort of like, kind of in a way friendly. I mean, it was always friendly, but like at the beginning, he's Davy's playing Coda's games and just like kind of checking it out. It's like, oh hey, look, I made this thing, and you know, it's neat, it's nice, it's cool. But then Davy's kind of looking, started not looking at for what it is in Coda's projects and games, and more like, okay, well, what do we do? What do I do? How do I win? What's the solution? Like, what's the point, right? Like, and Coda was never worried about that. Wasn't even thinking about that. It was like an outlet, right? And that's why I was never like trying to release these things and put and show them off to anyone. That was never needing the validation, right? And then you could see how the their relationship, right? Davy kind of almost influencing Coda in almost like in unintentionally, right? When Coda said, "Oh, I started adding these things into the games because I knew you'd be playing them." Right? Was this sort of line realizing that it wasn't like Coda wasn't entering them into the game because it was part of the vision or part of what Coda wanted to do, but was completely based on the fact that that Davy was going to play it, right? Adding solutions and and stuff like that, and then the lamppost is such that's something because we're told earlier it's like, oh, this is something that Coda added to the games, and it becomes a real point that he fixates on, when we learn at the end that Coda never did that. The lampposts were all put in here by Davy, and it it's interesting because I mean, like, what does it really mean, right? Doesn't mean like, oh, Davy like looked at these games, and so they needed a purpose. They needed something consistent, some point of reference, something, right? And it became a lamppost. But then you could also look at the you look at that as almost trying to interpret that is almost exactly the point that Kodo was making. Is you see how Davy kind of began to project his own feelings onto not just Koda, right, but Koda's work and the game. So whenever he started to say like, oh, Koda's depressed, Koda's, you know struggling, having all these issues, and doesn't want to be like is scared of being perceived, right? And what it seems to be, not perceived, it's not the right word, but sort of intentionally not showing off the games as some sort of, as if it's something that Coda's afraid to do, right? And when in reality it's actually Davey that has all these internal issues and projecting them onto somebody who isn't having those issues, and then once Davey began to share the games and people are like, wow, that's so good, like that's cool, that's neat, that's fun, that's awesome, wow, how interesting. It That feedback got intercepted essentially by Davey and was like, this is me, this is like, I'm doing the good job. And so like this need for Coda to, like, come on, you gotta keep making games, man, like I want to keep playing them, showing them off, and then I can get that validation from other people, you know but then it's also, it also is kind of meta in a way, because by looking at this game beyond a surface level, you're almost kind of doing the same thing, right? You're trying to project a meaning onto it, and there is a meaning, I think, right? It could be just something very surface level, right? Which is just, you know, art is a product of the artist, and you are meant to view the art and experience the art. And maybe you don't know everything about it. Maybe you don't really know inside the head of the artist. Maybe you don't. The art doesn't necessarily always even have to represent the artist, right? The idea that, you know, some of these games, they like, especially like the early ones, he Davey's trying to like pry into the mental state, the mind of Coda, but it's like, oh, these are unfinished. He didn't really know what to do with it, so he just kind of stopped working on it. And it's like, but let me finish it, or let me add a solution and stuff like that. And it's it's something very, it could be something just very surface level, or you start to project yourself onto the game, like when you're like, oh, I can relate to both of these characters, and you can, like, a lot of people can relate to each other. So I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, but I think I can see there's a lot of layers to this. I think it's really neat. I think it's really neat. And like the bit I was saying about the last game, I was really curious because inside the game, this was the last game that Coda made, and it was sent to Davey, right? It is impossible to have beaten it, right? It's impossible to have gotten through it. And Davey even himself says this. It's like, yeah, if you somehow brute force past the maze and the code, then you get into this room and the lever's on the other side of the door. You can't, go through. And then you hear Davey literally say, this level is cold, right? This level is cold. It's dark. It clearly shows the mental state of Coda, and how Coda's like blocking himself off from the world, and how this room with the lever being on the other side, it's like you're trapped in this room, and you can't get out. And he's like doing this interpretation and projection onto Coda, which is not accurate, because it almost seems like that last level was intentionally designed to not be beaten because he knew that Davey was going to cheat, because the messages in there were left for him. And the only way to see those would be to cheat, would be for Davey to mess with the game. which it seemed like he knew he would do, and thus built the game to be impossible to beat without it. And I mean, the realization that the roller coaster of, yeah, you can, and I did. I'm not gonna lie. It's not like I saw through this, you know, and you get like the certain levels, and using like the text based decision making, and Davy's over here trying to like discern some like deep meaning into every single decision that all of these were. And there probably are some, there's meaning behind a lot of things, but it seemed like Davy was really trying to discern, who Coda really was, but at the end of the day ended up actually just seeing himself in this, right? Saying, I desperately am trying to learn who this person is. And at the end, Coda being like, you gotta stop talking to me. Like, please. Right? Like Davy was seeing a friendship where Coda was, maybe at some point early on could have been like, oh, this could be a friendship, right? But then it just became too much, and it almost unsettling, right? It's not like Davy was doing this sort of, hostilely or with ill intent, obviously, but caused problems by trying to fix something that not only didn't need fixing, but wasn't his responsibility to fix. And it's like seeing, you'd say, like, see people for who they, what they projected. There is a lot of, like, Davy's a perfect example of, a lot of people. Like, like at the start, he's energetic, he's happy, he's like, we're showing off these games, it's cool, it's neat, it's interesting, but it the whole time he's having this internal struggle of what he did to Coda, and how he actually feels. And it's so good because it's so interesting, because you could look at this as just a surface level interpretation of literally what the game is showing you. And then there's like, oh, you could project your own emotions and your feelings onto the game and the situations, and it's like kind of meta in that way. But then also there's lessons to be learned, right? And I like that we got those moments and that message, right, where it's like, from Coda saying, yeah, the lows are just part of the process. Yeah, I'm gonna struggle to come up with ideas. Eventually, yeah, I will kind of lose that creative spark. It'll come back, right? And that's okay. That doesn't mean I'm depressed. It doesn't mean I'm sad, you know? And yeah, the internal judgment in some of those games, where it's sort of, am I good enough? Am I trying? And then like forcing through the floating islands one, whereas like you could see he's trying to be creative, but it's not really working and nothing's really coming out from it. And then that confrontation with his own internal machine of creativity and drive, and having to ask, being able to ask questions like, what happened to you? You did this to us. You have, we used to, this used to keep us alive, and now you're broken. And the idea that, going back through some of the areas with the gun and destroying, the work that he put together is, I interpreting it in, I guess, in a way to say, like, maybe he's not happy with the work that he did, right? Some of the, and so, like, tearing it down, or, you know, maybe at some point realizing that his art was influenced by Davey, right? And so, therefore, it's kind of tainted, not exactly his art, right? But I mean, there's probably like a ton of ways to really think about this, and at the same time, the curious way of not really trying to interpret it, you know. But this is this is really something, and yeah, the fact that I think it's so interesting, right? Now I was kind of talking about it briefly, how yeah, we're just going through things, and Coda was showing off the games. That's the thing; he was showing them off, and it wasn't until Davey started to kind of question things and sort of ask and push that things started to take turns, right? Because otherwise, he was getting sent games by Coda, and he was playing them, but he's like, oh, there's nothing here, and then Davey constantly looking like, oh, you have to go here, you have to look into this, you know. There's all these different, like, all the different versions of, like, the prisons and the room with the furniture, and how, like, the outside was the inside, and then the inside became upside down, and there's a way you can go outside, but you can't actually get to the well, and it's just it's like the idea of, like, just iterating on our trying things out, making things. It doesn't have to make not every single one has to have some deep meaning, but Davey was almost looking for that, or trying to interpret some deep meaning from each version of the prison. And so the line of, maybe he just liked maybe he just liked making prisons, you know is is this moment of, like, clarity, of, like, oh, maybe it was exactly what it was, and not, some kind of deep meaning that I'm looking for in every single situation. Like when like in the one prison level where he's like, yeah, you go in there, you have to wait for an hour before you can get out. And he's like, but I'm just gonna go ahead and let you out now. And it's like that right there is one example of how Davey's doing this. And then even at the end, right, you look at that epilogue level, where there's not really a point to any of it, but it exists to go through, right? Because once you hack past it, right, then there's, like, the desert area. You fall down, the elevator's rising up, you go into the hallway, you know, and then the reveal of the massive maze at the very end, the infinite maze, right? That, I mean, because you'd be like, what does that mean? What does that mean? Right? Is that sort of like his way of being like, well, do you want a game with a solution? There's a solution. You can get out. There it is. Or, is the idea, you know, more than that. And ending on the whisper machine, that's interesting. Because it's the very first game, aside from the Counter-Strike level, the first game that has a solution, right? Where you go into the laser, offering yourself up, and then saving everybody else. And where when you do that, it had a bug, and you just rise into the sky, similar to the end of the game, right? But it was it was interesting because it was the first game that we played of Coda's that Davey messed with, right? And you could see every single one of the games that we played in some way or another wasn't actually Coda's game anyway, because it was all messed with, right? Not just the lampposts, but the fact that there were solutions that weren't meant to be there, and going through levels in certain ways, and then the irony of Davey showing off all the games and Coda hating that, being like, no, stop it. I don't want this. I don't like this. I don't need this. And it's like, you need this, Davey. You're the one that needs this. I don't. And so the irony that this game in itself is essentially repeating what he did before to Coda by saying like, oh, maybe if I put out all or more of your games that you sent, and I put my name on it, maybe you'll see it, and then then you'll come back and you'll make more games again, and then it'll be okay, it'll be good, right? And so you put this game out, and all of the positive affirmations from this being, ironically, from us, the ones who are playing it, being like, wow, it's so good, this is so interesting. And Davey kind of being the one who's receiving all that praise, even though it's under the guise of he's doing this for Coda. It's also, validating him at the same time. And it's out of guilt, right? This is all made out of guilt in an attempt to get Coda's attention and get Coda back. But at the end of the day, like he said, so that you can make games again, because I need you. I need you to make games. Not that you want to make games, not that Coda wants to make games again, but that Davey needs Coda to make games so that he can feel good. So that he can then, continue to piggyback on that and receive that, the validation, the affirmations from everybody else. And it's a tragic tale, at the end of the day, because it starts out so wholesome and hopeful and whimsical and coming from a good place. But the moment we start to realize, like, the moment that we get the line from Davey that he's like, I'm gonna release these games, I'm gonna show them off to people so that Coda can see that his stuff is good and he doesn't have to feel bad, like he's making bad decisions and making not good games. But it's like that immediately was like, oh, Davey's making a mistake. Davey's gone rogue. And it was right. And then the whole thing is just a really sad ending of Coda telling him to never talk to him again. Go away. Stop it. And then that final line of, it's like, once it clicks, don't say anything. It was because, like, Coda realized that Davey was projecting, and it was a very unhealthy relationship, and it wasn't even about friendship at that point, because Davey wasn't even thinking about it like a friendship. Davey was thinking about it like Coda and Coda's work makes me feel better about myself. Right? So it's almost like at a certain point, once things changed between them, and Davey's whole idea to release the games was, it stopped being a friendship. Right? Even in Davey's mind, he tells himself it's a friendship, but really it's almost like it's not even a transaction. It's just, you make a thing so that then I can put it out and I feel good. So he's using Coda for his art. But man, Oh god, I could keep spinning wheels on this, I'm sure. Absolutely. Slap another hour onto this video. But yeah, there's probably gonna be other things I'm not thinking about. But it's so good. This game is it's so good. It's so profound, right? But then also it it's not it's also not trying to be super deep. It it's you couldn't That's what I mean, like when you said like it has a message. And I like the message. It's a good message. And you can dig deeper into certain areas, but I think you don't need to understand it. And there's a lot of aspects that, people, us, right, we can project ourselves onto, right? Especially with the cleaning cycle in the house, where it's like you're having a conversation with somebody and, you know, Davey telling Coda, like, oh, he's having conversations with himself, but he never really connects with somebody else. It seems like he craves that connection with another person, but he just can't do it. When it's like, no, maybe he's just doing this, right? Maybe he's having fun making a back and forth conversation text tree, right? Or, having that, basically it is what it is, right? It's not everything is deeper than it looks. You know, some things are, but not everything is. And I think I like the clean because it's also representative of real life, right? Sort of, the chores always need to be done, always something to be done, and then the sort of, kind of real messaging in there, sort of, your house is only as hard to clean, you know, in a way like representative of you. So like, if you're finding it really hard to kind of control your home and take care of it, then maybe there's a lot you have to work on for yourself. If you're finding that really hard. And that was great. Man, and the fact that it looped forever, right? That was the idea. And it was just like this comfortable, you just kind of roll around. You kind of almost turn the brain off and just, go do the chores, do this, do that, do this, do that. And it like randomly resets them. But that was it, right? And then Davy comes in and is like, I went ahead and opened the door for you because otherwise this would just repeat, you know, and you got to make sure. And you got to make sure you don't spend too much time in the darkness because that's how you stay alive, is by going through it quickly. And opens the door up on the hill when that was never supposed to be something. you know I don't know. I think it's really cool. I think it's really cool. This has been an emotional, really interesting, really thought-provoking, if you couldn't tell, game. And man, it's so good. And pivoting from that, right, is, you know on a personal level, there's a lot of this stuff that I'm playing through, going through my head, right, going hearing it, and just a lot of Davy and Coda, whether Coda is really real or not, or just like a vehicle created by Davy, to kind of personify or like focus his internal thoughts, I think is irrelevant in this specifically, right? Because there's that internal story is so real all the time, right? And I know like a lot of um like being a creative, like not just like a creator on YouTube or anything, just a person like that, and I'm sure it hits a lot of you guys that are kind of in that you know same bubble as a creative. And I know a lot of creative people, so I you know um it's it's always one of those things that I I can't say that I don't worry about it every single day, right? Especially with the channel, right? And it's it's something I take great care in and great pride in because I try not to lose sight of kind of like what we do and why we do, and that's why I bring it up all the time. I don't say we all the time when we're playing games and doing stuff for no reason because I genuinely look at this as it's us. It's yeah, sure. I'm technically here. I'm the one doing the doing, right? But at the end of the day, like the channel doesn't exist without you guys. It can physically exist, sure, but like what makes it what it is doesn't really exist without both of us, right? You guys and me. And it's a collaborative thing. So we're together in this, right? And I try to kind of keep that focus, right? And it's it's always been a it's been a driving force, for so long, and I've brought it up on a number of videos in the past, right? Where, um, in The Witcher 3, uh, the comment made by commenter Kai, right, said in response to me kind of rushing or feeling rushed to kind of like push the main narrative in The Witcher 3. Don't worry, no spoilers. Uh, he said, just chill out, just calm down, just do it. Like, what's the point in rushing through the game to just finish the game and then do the next game to then rush to the next game and do the next game, right? Like, what's the point? Why, why any of it? And then it really it reinforced my initial mindset with the channel, which was I wanted to kind of have this place, right, where um, initially the idea is like that I can vent and talk about games, right? That's the whole idea, is in a place that I could never do that before because a lot of the people around me, a lot of time either didn't know about games, didn't really know anything or care about games, or just had such, um, honestly, either nihilistic view or just completely uninterested in the broader market of games, right? And it was very much like, oh, specific games and stuff like that, or uh, really just being incredibly negative about a lot of things. And so I never had an outlet to kind of be like, oh man, I really like this game. This seems really cool. And then I look around, it's like, oh, nobody really wants to talk about it. Nobody really cares. So I was like, you know what? I care. And so I'm going to do this thing. And I thought maybe it'd be cool if, if maybe there's other people out there that kind of feel the same way, and want to find a space or a place or a series or a video, right, where it's like finally somebody actually cares about this game that I like, or somebody's really trying to like understand and dig into this game. Maybe we share the same feelings, or maybe we don't share the same feelings on a game, and what you feel maybe changes how I think about it, or vice versa, right? Maybe the way I approach a game changes the way you initially thought about the game, for the better, hopefully. And so when I started all this, it was like that was the driving force, right? It was to create a cool space with that feeling, that old feeling that I used to get, sitting on the couch with your friends playing a game, you know, where you're like seeing everything happen, you're yapping, you're talking about it, you're like, oh shit, look at that, that's crazy, whoa, you know, game comes out, you just get home with it, you slap it in, you check it out, and it's like that's the vibe that I try to go for. Is we're just hanging out, we're having fun, right? And I've never let the numbers or anything get to me because I know that's one of the big things, and it's not like I don't think about it, right? But it's never been a driving force. I never want it to be a driving force because like we have 11,000 people on this channel, and it's insane. It's insane. It's crazy. It's absolutely nuts. And I appreciate every single one of you being here, whether that's for this video, previous videos. You've been here since the beginning. I'm good with a lot of names, and I've seen a lot of you guys pop up, and that have been popping up for over 4 years, right? For some of our oldest series, and it's a beautiful thing, and I'm glad that you are here and have been here and chose to be here at whatever point that is, right? And I strive to keep doing that, to keep trying to kind of foster that kind of a space, and I feel like I've done a pretty good job. I don't always nail it, right? I don't always completely nail it, but I try to go into every video we do because I care, right? And whether that is because it's really popular and I want to make sure that I do a good job for you guys, really represent and do the game justice, right? Or introduce you to something that maybe you've not seen or you don't know about, and make sure to really bring that in, and so, like, the subscribers are fucking amazing, right? It's so cool. It's so cool because I never thought this would be anything, just me yapping about games for hours and hours on end about different things, and and to Weiss. And to reinforce that, right? It's you got games like Resident Evil. As an example, Resident Evil, and then some of the demos we do, and some of the smaller games and stuff like that. Like, they, number wise, they don't perform really well. Like, just realistically, right? Logistically, but I still do them because I really enjoy them and I really like them and I'm passionate about doing that. And there are some of you that are, in that same boat, right? Even though they're, it, as an example, like, yeah, they're not going to hit Baldur's Gate 3 numbers, but they don't need to, right? What is it? I just recently I finished the Alien Rogue Incursion Part 1, right? Finished that whole game and absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved that game. I thought it was amazing. I thought it was so fucking fun. And I knew it wasn't going to be very popular because not a lot of people really were interested in it, but I still put it out. And even though I anticipated maybe 5 people, maybe 10 watching it, right? Maybe. It didn't stop me from being like, should I do this? Should I spend the time doing this? Right? And you guys can see like how much time I put into all the videos, and it's not about like, oh, look at what I'm doing. It's sort of like, I hope it comes through that it's like I care, I give a shit, right? I don't want you to feel like anything's ever taken for granted, because I know any day this could go away, right? In a way, like, there's going to be points where the big games, the big popular games, aren't on the channel right now, and like, we're ending Baldur's Gate 3, and we got some new ones that are starting up soon. It's going to be exciting, but just know, like, the views, whether they're insanely high, because a lot of people worried about that with Baldur's Gate 3 when that started, and it blew my fucking mind. Is insane. It was like 30,000 views in like 2 days. It was crazy, right? But it didn't change how I approached the game. It didn't change how I approached the channel, and it didn't suddenly become, more important to put that out versus the other game we were playing at the time, right? And that continues on. Like, right now, we got a number of games we're doing, right? We just finished Subnautica Below Zero. We just finished Baldur's Gate 3, finishing Outer Wilds and the DLC, right? And whatever we do next is, I'm gonna approach it with the same mindset I've always done it, right? Because I had the same I have the same doubts all the time that Davey has, like, on a day-to-day basis. Like, am I good enough? Am I doing what's right? am I making shit that you guys actually like to see? But am I doing stuff that you guys like to see that I also like, that I'm also enjoying, right? Because it's easy to just go play games. If I wasn't doing the way that I was doing this, like I could just no camera, no microphone, just put the game out on YouTube, just churn out a ton of them, easy, wouldn't even be an issue. There's no soul in that for me, and I can't bring myself to do that. Right? That's why I don't like phone in anything. I don't half-ass any videos. I whole ass every video. Right? And whether it takes a couple days, or maybe some videos are too long or some videos aren't long enough. I I always make it a point to I will take if I can't do a video right, I would rather not do it. Right? So if there's ever a point where there's like gaps in between episodes or gaps in between like recording days, it's two things. Which is one, I don't have time to do it. And that's usually the big one. Is I don't have time to do it, right? If I have like an hour in a day to do something and I feel like I can't get if I like, oh, I could record a video in this hour and I can't really feel good about what I could do in that amount of time, um, I'd rather not rush it out just to get a video out, just so that it could be out there in the algorithm and on the channel, and then you guys have a video to watch, right? When I'd rather take a day, 2 days, however it is, and make sure that I have the time to actually, like, really make it good, you know? And and that's why I've started to try to, like, several years ago, right? I pivoted into this as unedited as possible style so that it feels more like we're organically doing this together, like that feeling like we're hanging out on the couch, hanging out playing these games, and I'm talking to you like I would in person, right? I don't talk any differently that I do in real life, outside of here. So the way that I'm yapping about these games is exactly the way that I would yap to you if we were like physically here. And I what is it, back in 2023, it was March 2023, I I I stepped back suddenly. And those of you who have been here since then know exactly what I'm talking about, because we were playing the Mass Effect 1. We were close to the end. We were doing God of War Ragnarok. We were doing the Walking Dead as well, and Dead Space, the remake. And I bounced off the channel for 2 months. And initially, I had not really, I wasn't really sure why. I wasn't really sure why I did. Because it's not like I wasn't enjoying the games, right? And I I really had to take this time to like process like what is going on with me, because it's like that there was moments of like sort of like the drive, like my machine stopped working, even though I was enjoying everything we were doing. I didn't I don't know. I don't know what it was at the time, right? And every time I would sit down, because there were days where in those 2 months where I'd sit at my computer, I would have everything on ready to go, and I would just sit there staring at the start screen, and I'm just like, it's not. I don't know. I don't know. And like I said, like I don't want to record it if my heart's not in it. If I'm not going to do it right for you and me and the game. But at the same time, it was fighting that feeling of like I'm literally letting all of you guys down at the same time. Right? You guys have been enjoying, like, for example, Mass Effect. We were loving Mass Effect. And when it was like a day, 2 days, a week, 2 weeks, every day I'm thinking to myself, like, you're fucking this up, man. Like you were literally blowing this. Like, it's so easy. Just play the game. Just do the thing we were already doing. Come on. And I don't know. I never, for like a month and a half, I just didn't know what was wrong with me. And I don't know what it was. Because it's like, was it burnout? Maybe. but at the same time, I need to get my spark back in a way. And I took time and just kind of like didn't play any games, didn't really do anything um in a creative way, right? And I was just kind of existing. And then I think realistically, um funny enough, it's Matt Rowland on the channel. He's a channel member, but he's also been one of the oldest people on the channel. Joined in Horizon Zero Dawn way back when, and a friend of a good friend. And I remember he commented on a post that was on the channel at the time and said that he figured that I had abandoned the channel. It was like, I think he's abandoned the channel. It's been 3 months. And when I saw that, it it clicked. I don't know what clicked, but something clicked. And it was this moment of like, no, I didn't abandon the channel. Like, I'm sitting here day to day trying to, try to get back into it. I don't know what it is. I didn't abandon the channel. I don't want anybody to think that. And it was that feeling of like it really hit. And it made me really in that moment think, if we're not abandoning the channel, which is genuinely in my heart what I believe, then what are we doing? What are we doing? And I really sat there, I thought things through, and I made some goofy a couple of a little dumb videos, right? Afterwards, after that, and put them out. I did a Fortnite video, which, even if you're not a fan of Fortnite, I feel like that video was great because it was so dumb. It was so dumb. I kind of just was like, you know what? There's no structure to this. It's unhinged. We're just gonna do it. Just let it all spill out. See what happens. And then I did a tarot card, not a tarot card. I did a tarot card reading. That was the other one I did. I did that, and it was sort of, I don't know, letting the ridiculous energy flow through everything. And I also read the preface of the Witcher book of The Last Wish. I did a let's read of that one, and that kind of, I don't know what it was, but that kind of got everything kind of moving. And then I don't know, then I got back into Mass Effect and I got back into everything else, and it felt good. It felt good, and I'm rambling. I'm rambling, but there's a point, right? There's a point to all this, and it's the fact that I I too have struggled with such things, and I think about it every day, every single day, every single day. I think about everything I put on the channel, and I'm like, do you enjoy this? Is this good? Is this fun for you, for me, for all of us? Because it could get 5 views, but as long as I enjoyed it and those 5 people enjoyed it, I'm happy. That's all that matters to me. And so when hundreds of you, tens of you, dozens of you, thousands of you like something, I think it's absolutely fucking crazy that somebody, and that many people, anybody really likes what I do and what we do. And I try not to give off this energy of, and I don't think I do. I hope, God, I hope not, that I'm, some sort of big anything. Like, I don't believe I have an ego. And I like knowing and feeling that I don't. Because I know some channels can very much get that. But we're not that. We're not that. And I like being able to interact with you guys in the comments, even though I'm absolutely god awful at actually responding to them, because I also have this terrible tendency to not respond if I can't say something meaningful. Right? I don't want to just give you a one word, 2 word response, right? If you take the time to write a comment, I would want to take the time to like actually respond to that properly, and it's a paradox because I don't have to do it properly. More comments come in, and then I do the same thing, and more. But I always make sure to read them. Right, the mods go through them and make sure there's no spoilers. But then I do, and we read all the comments. So if you ever wrote a comment, don't worry, I've read it. That's practically a guarantee. Or as long as it's not a spoiler in it, I've read it, and it really means a lot, and it really drives everything forward here. So don't ever think that it doesn't, and it doesn't matter. And you know, I love what we do. I love doing this, and it's not going to change. It's not going to change. And I've really stuck to that principle, right? The founding decree that this is going to be a really chill, thorough space for like games or like anything we react to or watch or anything like that. It's never just going to be something I'm just looking at the screen like, whoa, right? There's like interest behind it and everything, and whether it really, you know, succeeds or not, you know, number wise, yeah, it is what it is. But I don't put it out if I don't think it's good, and I don't put it out if I don't think that you or somebody would enjoy it, right? And I do my best to really give you guys a good time, a fun place, a chill place to just hang out, you know, relax, unwind, have a couple of laughs, and you know, just kind of forget about the world for a little bit because it's rough out there, you know. It's rough for all of us in a lot of different ways. And so I'm going to stop rambling because this has gone on for a while, and it's it's a great game. It's a great game. It is. I loved this. It has resonated with me so strongly. That hasn't been evident with this last bit of the rant. I don't know how long this video is going to be, but I say if you're still here, holy thank you for being here, right? As sticking it to the end, because I know some people are just gonna watch it for the game, and that's okay. That's totally cool, right? The literally not an issue if you're, you know, just here for the plot, right? But you know, it's meaningful because that's what makes this different than just a, you know, anyone could just go watch this on YouTube, the non-commentary playthrough, but you chose to, you know, watch somebody play through it, and that somebody happened to be me this time. You know, whether I'm the only one or I'm just the next one in the list that you've gone through. But it means a lot that, you know, guess sit through my yaps, whatever it means, and I hope I've made sense in most of this because it's kind of all just spilling out, and yeah, there's probably gonna be a lot of other things that I wanted to say that I didn't say, but I'm sure we'll find them. I'm sure we'll find it somewhere. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. You guys are the best. Absolutely amazing. Thank you again, Ree. Absolutely huge thank you to Ree for gifting me this game and allowing me to experience this beautiful, incredible narrative experience for these couple hours. So really huge thanks. And thanks to all of you for watching, being here and hanging out and being a part of the channel and everything. Even if you never comment, I still think it's absolutely huge that you're here, right? And for real, I love it. You guys are the best. See you guys in the next video. Whatever that ends up being. Bye-bye.